fear.
The fear is what keeps us here. From the creators of Do Not Feed the Monkeys comes The Fabulous Fear Machine, a pulp horror narrative-driven, real-time resource management simulation game from Victoria Rama Studios. If you've played other disease and plague-like simulation games, then this is right up your alley. It combines the multitasking and management of resources and time with pop culture and pulp campy horror tropes of the 70s and 80s and 90s. You can find a link in the description below to get a copy of The Fabulous Fear Machine, which is out now, and I am very fortunate to be sponsored to play this game, and let me tell you, it's very, very addicting.
Greetings, traveler. I am Killian. We've been waiting a long time for you.
You start this game by meeting Kirlian, the puppet of a fortune-telling machine that will grant you your one and only wish, but ask you to pay the price of telling your story.
What are your deepest desires? Power.
In order to fulfill your wish and allow the machine to tell your story, you must spread your renown through the
All
best
that
way
is
possible.
yours for the
Fear.
taking. In return, the machine will ask for the merest thing. Your story. Are you willing to pay this price? Then, make a wish.
This is the Double Blind. Now, as you can see, I've already played through everything, so I'm going to go ahead and I reset this, and we're going to go ahead and start it over. That's me. Tom Hanks? Is that you? Hello, Jen. Did you have a hard time finding us? I have to confess it was my idea, but I wanted to give your search generally a British... Oh, she's British. London, innit? Sorry. Let us get started. I expected no less from a superior scientific mind, but you're aware of the conditions of the agreement, yes? And you're willing to go forward? Let's go. Let's make the wish, Jen, innit? Listen carefully, Jen. From the moment on, you will be the mistress of the machine. The machine and its agents are at your orders. I will also write your story, which will be entitled The Double Blind. Once upon a time, an ambitious young researcher who had spent her childhood in an environment of formaldehyde, solitude, and white lab coats. ... The whole point of this game, just like other games in this genre, is to spread fear. Now, other games, they spread disease, things along those lines, but us, we want to spread fear. And in this scenario, the objective in order to do that is to transmit messages about Phaedra Farm, the pharmacy that we want to become the CEO, in which only Phaedra drugs guarantee good health. That's one message. Generic drugs should be outlawed, and the other message that all natural remedies are dangerous. Now, in order to fulfill these, you can see there are two requirements down here. We need to have a specific amount of fear in the region. That is the main, I don't know if you call it currency, but the main thing that is to be spread, as well as terror of decrepitude. That is a resource of, or a type of modifier that can exist in order to spread fear. These ones only require fear, so this area needs to have at least 75 fear in the region, and this one needs to have 65. Now, in order to spread fear, you have agents. We have two of them here, Eliphas and Renee. They do certain activities, such as extracting essences. The essences are resources that help you do little mini games later on. This tells you how long it takes for you to be established in a region, as well as if you have to do any spy stuff, this is as long as it takes. I am going to take Eliphas here because it takes him a little less time than Renee. That's kind of the basics of it. I'll explain more as we get into the game. Now, I am Phaedra Farm's youngest hire. Now, in order to achieve our objective in this mission, we have to transmit the message in 3 areas. We have Scotland, we have the UK, well, all of this is the UK. We have England and Wales, and we have Ireland. Now, as you see here, these are each of the messages that we had talked about. Each section has a different capacity or how much it takes for it to be completed. So for example, on this first one here, only Fadro drugs guarantee good health. As you can see, Scotland already has a third of the percentage of the Terror of Decrepitude established there, whereas Ireland and England already only have 10. So we're going to place this here. And then these two are basically how fast do you think this is going to spread? And so we'll place it here, and then we'll place this over here. Now, in order to actually start the game, we have to plant our seed of fear, plant the seeds of fear into this game. Now, normally, I would start with Ireland because that allows the the fear to spread both ways. But since we have Scotland already up to 20 out of 60 of decrepitude, it's not going to take us that long for this whole region to be established. So we'll start up here. Now, as you can see, we already have some fear already spreading. This is I can see this little purple shadow that encompasses part of Scotland here. In order for that to be spread further, we have to play some cards here. Now, as you can see, the cards that I'm going to be talking about, it is a legend. These legends are, think of like the legend of Bigfoot, urban myths, things along those lines, things that will establish fear in a city. And in order to spread our fear, we have to establish more legends in this city as we explore further and further. Now, there is a time limit on this game. In order to succeed, you have to make sure that you don't run out of oleum. Now, oleum and your flame does not get extinguished as up here. As you can see, we have a little tiny flame. We are not consuming any oleum. That is a resource that is fuel. That, fuel to the flame, fear. You get the idea, right? You get the idea. And in order to do that, in order to gain more oleum, we have 1,000 down here. You have to implant an oleum refinery by having fear reach the city. Now, luckily for us, we already had fear right here inside of our city, so we were able to plant that already. But, for example, once we explore the city, you'll notice that I will not be able to place a refinery there because our fear has not reached it. Now, we can go ahead and get started in this one. As you can see, in order for this one to be full, to be complete, we have to spread 60 Terror of the Decrepitude. And so let's pick a legend. Clicking on one of these buttons over here give you different types of legends. And for this one here, we have the sandbox virus and we have contaminated wells. How convenient, since we are trying to become the CEO of a pharmaceutical company, eh? Let's go with contaminated wells and place it inside of Glasgow. This does cost oleum. That is another part of the fuel resource. In order to place legends, in order to place these cards down, you have to use your oleum resource. And so we're going to go ahead and place contaminated wells because it only costs 300 oleum. Now, as you can see, there is a light green shadow here now. That is showing how much fear you have spread by implanting this legend in here. If I unpaused it, you'll see that the fear will start to spread that far. You can pause, unpause. You can also, if you press down the hold button or you press and hold spacebar, time goes by faster. And you can see it's already starting to spread. Now, for this to spread even further and for us to reach our goals for this area, we need to level up our legend. In order to do that, we must mine resources. Now, as you can see here, we had the option of changing, instead of implanting a refinery or a pump, we had the option of implanting an essence of politics, Gaia, blood, visions, root, science, pop, and destiny. In order for this one to be leveled up, we need some Gaia essences, aka some resources, and you can see those resources down here. I don't want to get rid of the pump because I want to be continually farming fuel every 30 days, so we're going to explore another section of Glasgow. And that takes us 28 days in the game, so we can just press and hold spacebar and fast forward until that is complete. Hiring surge. At some point, the future of the company will be in the hands of new blood. Okay, that's going to be us, but okay. Now, we gained extra fuel because every 30 days, as you can see here, by pump, we're getting plus 100 fuel. As this goes on, this is going to start, the fire to our flame is going to start requiring fuel in order to keep it burning. And then you can see that right here, there's this little tab here, and once that goes away, it's going to start taking up fuel for it to keep burning. Otherwise, time's going to run out and we lose the game. All right, he has finished exploring Ashton Lane. The popcorn that comes with my beer tastes rancid. That's nothing, the waitress tells me. You should see the ones we have in the back room. Okay, well, we received some science essence. We don't really need it right now, but what we do need is Gaia in order to level up the contaminated wells. So let's go ahead and plant a Gaia essence. Now, in order to actually get this essence, our agent here has to sit here and extract for 30 days. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Now, that noise indicates that the legend has finished, I guess, leveling up or getting to the point where it can level up, getting, I guess, quote unquote, experience to level up. But we don't have the required resources in order to do so. So in 21 days, we will. So let's go ahead and fast forward until we get there. Now, as you just saw, 30 days passed. Another little tick here on this meter. Once this fills all the way up, this is going to start requiring oleum in order to keep our flame going. So we have a little bit of time left still. All right, there we go. That noise indicates that something just finished with one of our agents. Our agent just got to essence, and now we can level up the contaminated wells. Now, this is one of the little mini-game aspects of this game. In order to level up, we need to use our quote-unquote common sense and do a little word match games that you take one of these words in this word pile and match it to what the whole story is of this little mini game, of this legend. The contaminated wells. First, you notice a strange odor of bleach. What word, would go with contaminated wells? Probably chemical, right? Let's go ahead and level up. Now we get a bonus. We get a bonus to the effects that we get from this legend. We're getting plus 20 Terror of Decrepitude and plus 20 Terror of Pain, and that Terror of Decrepitude is going to add to the total score needed for Scotland as well, and it's going to increase our fear. An event has appeared in the region. So there are little roguelike events that happen in this game. As you can see here, there's one, children's exercise campaign. The local government wants to cut healthcare spending by encouraging kids to play sports, and having a generation of healthy kids is not in our interest, right? We do not want the UK to be healthy. So in order to do something about this, we have to send an agent there. Now, this is where the game starts to get interesting, because now you have to start balancing resources versus you have to start doing a lot of different things at once. Do you want to level up your legend immediately and take the time? It's going to take 80 days for this to get to the point where you can level up. And in order to do that, you need 3 Gaia resources. It takes 30 days to extract two of them. So you're going to need at least 60 days in order to get enough resources for this to level up. But luckily, this has 150 days for us to work on it. So let's go ahead and just start extracting. I'm going to do a 2 cycle so we can get at least 4. Oh, and look at that. Perfect timing. As you increase your mastery, which is the mastery over these over here, you start to get rewards. And we just got a reward here, which means we unlocked a second agent. Hello, Renee. You will be mine. Let's actually put that agent down over here to explore a new city. It also costs oleum in order to explore cities as well. And now we can go ahead and press spacebar. Now you'll notice here, fear is starting to extend into Ireland. I'll go ahead and just let it play. And that's because of this little entry point. These little dots here equal entry points that can allow fear to spread into different sections. As you notice here, there's no entry point here, which means it will not spread unless one is created. And this radius is going to spread all the way down here, so it's only a matter of time before it reaches the city in Ireland, which is Dublin. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. Okay. Now, we're on McConnell Street. Now, this is what I mentioned earlier. We cannot place a pump in Dublin because there is no fear here. The fear has not reached. So, while we're here, we can just go ahead and start working on the children's exercise campaign. Takes us 29 days to infiltrate it, and we'll see if we have to do anything about that. So let's go ahead and fast forward. You can see the fear slowly moving to Dublin right now. Oh, thank you, sir. After a time, the agents do level up. Now, right now, they don't require any resources. This one, we can just level up immediately. But as you continue to level up higher, they do require different resources of these essences, sometimes Gaia, heart, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and just level them up right now. Mistress, were you calling me? The guy is terrifying. Thank you, Mistress. Now we have 2 strength, 4 intuition, and 4 stealth. Information collected. We also learned about him Seeing what no one else sees, I had only to close my eyes and immerse myself in the darkness. As you level up, you gain more information about this agent, and that will give us something that we'll see later on. So now, as you can see, in order to level this up again, we need another resource in order to do those. We're going to need vision. We need eyeballs. So we'll have to place an eyeball extraction area at some point. So we have enough here to level up the contaminated wells. So we can do something else with this agent, which at this time, I'm going to go ahead and use this to explore the second part of this city. All right. Children's exercise campaign. So this is the roguelike thing that I was talking about. We have two options here. We can either spend oleum to bribe the person to cancel this campaign, or we can publish the following article: 10 soccer players who died on the field. Can I help you? This will cost us a resource. It costs us 2 Gaia. We have 900 oleum. I think we'll be okay. We can spare. But we do want Terror of the Decrepitude in order for this to work. But this will be in Ireland. We don't really care too much about the Terror of the Decrepitude because this will be in Ireland here. So let's just use oleum. Neutralized. Nothing bad is going to happen inside this city. Now you notice this pop up right here. Well, we'll get to that here in a second. Let's start exploring more of Dublin Castle. So this is our rival. Throughout the game, you will have people who do not want you to succeed. We are trying to become the sole corporation, the sole pharmaceutical corporation in all of the UK, and there's people who want to stop us. Weird. That's weird how that works, huh? But while we're here, let's go ahead and level up the contaminated wells. Then you see something very unusual about the color. What word fits this? Probably ecosystem or disease or subsoil, right? So let's use one of those. And now we get an extra bonus. Plus 10 to each of those. Finally, you detect an awful taste when you drink it. For 50 years, I've been drinking from those wells, and I've had everything under the sun. Yeah, it's London water in it. Okay, that's sorry. I will not do any more English accents, I promise. Now that we've did that, we've completed one part of filling out all of Scotland's message. We've done the Terror of Decrepitude section. Now we just have to finalize the fear, which is we're at 56 out of 70. So let's let this spread. You can see it's starting to go up, but it's still not enough yet. It's pretty close, but it's not enough yet. Okay, Elephas. I did say I'm going to need eyeballs, right? So let's go ahead and implant those, and we can extract. It'll take 29 days. Dublin Castle. I study the portrait of the former lord. His luxurious clothing contrasts with a woodworm that's devouring the wooden picture. Is this a metaphor for something? Has fear reached O'Connell Street? It has. So now that fear has reached the city, we can plant a second oleum pump, which is going to give us also an additional 100 oleum per 30 days. Now we also need to start exploring the rest of these areas too. But while we're here, we want to figure out who our rival is. We want to figure out why do they want us to stop. So let's go ahead and infiltrate with our agent and speed time up. 2 eyeballs. We are going to need more Gaia. So let's go ahead and extract more Gaia. Hessel Biofarm. Victor Hesselberg, general manager, one of Europe's oldest global pharmaceutical companies. Objective: to consolidate its growth in Great Britain and to remain the #1 pharmaceutical company in the world. Excuse you? That's my job. So what he is going to do, as you can see here, he has active movements. He is going to place cards down that are going to try and counteract what you are doing by counteracting your fear. He's going to place them in slots where you would place legends. And in order to damage his movements, that's what they are called, those little cards, you have to gain some information on him. You have to spy on him. So we have that right here, incursion location. Let's go ahead and start it. It's going to take us 29 turns. And let's see what he does. Oh, hello, sir. Oh, the parents worked here? They never mentioned that they had a daughter? I hope you can live up to their tremendous legacy. Should I praise my parents or assert my independence? Let's praise them. So do I. Their education and discipline and what all I want is for a name to shine as brightly as theirs one day. All right, sir. We'll keep in touch. Yeah. Do we have enough for the level up? Nope. Let's go ahead and run another extraction campaign. And hey, they leveled up as well. So let's go ahead and level up Renee. Yes, Renee, I was one of 6 sisters that ever knew my father. Okay, sure, you leveled up. We don't really care. We found information about you. Now we'll need TV. We'll need Pop in order to level her up again. The parking garage. This is the excursion I was talking about. The luxury of the top floors of Hevel's British subsidiary contrasts with the filth and gloom. Wait a minute. In the distance, coming from inside a maintenance room, I hear the clink of bottles. Let's follow the noise. Luckily for us, this is a 100% success rate. And now, as you can see, we've discovered some information. I find the elderly janitor drunk and sitting on the floor. On the verge of tears, he's muttering to himself, "If I live like a rat and work like a rat inside this rat's nest, what does this make me?" He looks at me with hollow eyes while taking a swig from the bottle. Melancholy janitor. The man is hitting bottom and we can use his mental instability to our advantage. Jesus Christ. All right, well, now we have an incursion, or we have some information that we can use against one of his movements if he decides to use one at some point. Now, with this, you can also see that in order to use the information, we have to spend some resources, and we'll need 3 of this candle resource, which I forget the name of it at this time. The candle resource is Destiny, so we'll have to plant some at some point. So let's go ahead and just go over here. Let's plant some Destiny because he has almost the full amount of funds in order to play a card, and so we're going to need some at some point here soon. So now I'm pausing it again because you heard that noise. Our timer ran out and now our flame is taking up some oleum, minus 50 oleum in order to keep our flame alive. Luckily, we have 2 pumps right now, so we're still able to pump out 200 per turn, giving us 150 every single 30 days. All right, so he just played a card. Hesel Biofarm announces its grand charity gala to be attended by the cream of high society. He placed it all the way down here. And in order to counteract that, we have to go and explore the city. So we should probably do that, eh? Let's go explore. 27 turns. Because our exploration time has been leveled up to +4. So let's explore, costing us 200 oleum. And we're going to need more Destiny. Because in order to play that, in order to expel his movement, we have to use Destiny. So let's speed it up until we hit this. There we go. All right. It is time to level up this legend all the way. Let's put ecosystem there. That should be part of the legend. There we go. We get another bonus. All the way to +50. The contaminated wells when water is no longer odorless, colorless, or tasteless. Under debate. Are the rumors about our aquifers true? I don't care what the scientific study says. That water is nothing but poison. All right. So now we have finished a legend in the region of Scotland. That's giving us a lot of fear, and that should put us up to 70, which is perfect. That's the total amount that we needed. We could get this even further if we wanted to min-max this. As you can see, it's starting to grow higher than 70. It's at 71 at the moment, 72. But we've met the requirements to spread our message, so let's spread our message of fear across Scotland. Only Fadra jugs are the best ones. And that completes one part of our comic strip puzzle. Night of Cold Dinners. The famous doctors Hammond receive a new reward. Her parents are famous doctors. A gifted student. Should we wait for someone to take the photo, miss? Ah, we're learning more. Fadra products become top sellers in the region's pharmacy. So we have completed 1 of 3 messages to be sent out to the UK. Now, in order to, once again... Landat! Okay, what did I say? Sorry. I did say I wouldn't do that again. The fear has stagnated here in Ireland, so we need to spread that some more, right? Luckily for us, we don't have any extra requirements. We don't have to spread the terror of decrepitude. We just have to spread fear itself to the general population. So in here, let's look at what's the best one that we can use. Let's use the terror of death. We are at 25 of the passions. We would want to get our next extra bonus here. So let's go ahead and use Sharpie the Clown inside of Ireland. In order to level up Sharpie the Clown, we are going to need some blood. So we'll have to plant some blood in one here, which in order to do that, we need to explore a little bit more. Now, we don't have to plant it in the city that this is required on. I could go in here and change this from an eyeball to blood, but that would cost me some oleum to do that. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in the same city. It just has to be extracted. So now that we have explored London and he has his Grand Charity Gala movement, we can go ahead and expel it. What happens, you ask, if we don't expel it and this reaches 55? He starts to spread his movement throughout London. It's kind of the counteractive to fear. And if his movement is spread all the way throughout this region, 100%, that means we have lost this region and In order to win this one, we have to spread our message to all 3 of these areas, which means we would lose this map. There are some maps where there are 4 or 5 different regions, but you only have to spread your message to 3 of those. So if you lose one of them, it's not the end of the world. But in this one, we can't afford to do that. So let's go ahead and use our information that we collected from spying to dispel his movement. After finding the body of a worker hanging in the building's parking garage, the police will keep Hessel's British headquarters closed. The janitor, no! Sheesh. But hey, it doesn't matter. We canceled their grand charity gala, right? So we did need blood, correct? So let's go ahead and extract some blood for the next 30 turns. Miss Hammond, I see that you haven't overestimated your talent. You're making our subsidiary in the British Isles very nervous. Don't try to play grown-up games if you don't want to get hurt. All right, be aggressive. You seem a little nervous. Could it be that you're the one getting too old for this game, Victor? Cruel and impudent. I see that you've inherited all of the Hammond defects, Jen. What is that face? Holy. You've infuriated Victor. Now Hessel's movements will expand more rapidly. So when he plays another card down, another movement card, and it reaches all the way to 0, that means the movement, once again, the counteraction to fear, will spread faster than it did before. Hey, a new event in Scotland. The company's CEO, Andrew Logham, sends you this message. Good work, Jen. In a few days, the board of directors will announce your promotion to the head of projects and research. I received 200 oleum. Okay, so we have a nice little event time that happens, and we gained a resource for that. Nice. And because of what we've done, we've also gained a lucky card. This is one of our bonuses. Now we get to pick a card. And these cards, as you can see, have some effects. So the spy, +1 into an agent's intuition, or we could use +220 to the values of the occult, which is one of these down here, which gives us extra bonuses to the occult legends if we play them, or the enemy frees a rival's movement for 60 turns. I'm going to use this. I'm going to take this one. We probably won't need it, but in order, if he ends up playing a movement on the map, we can throw this on top of that movement and it freezes it for 60 turns or 60 days. All right. Ireland, Phoenix Park. Okay, we received +5 the Terror of Violence and 2 Destiny. This doesn't really matter too much right now, but sometimes there will be instances where we get a quick time event where we explore the area and we have to make a choice, and sometimes it just gives us experience, and sometimes it gives us bonuses. So, do we have enough heart? We do not. Now we have 2. Let's extract again. Now I'm going to use this to go ahead and get another more information from him, because he's getting pretty close to having enough funds to start another movement. All right, we got the noise. We can level up Sharpie the clown. The circus has come to town. Well, he is a clown, so jokes are probably part of this legend, which they are. Come, boys and girls, excitement, fun, and lots of laughs. Those freaks with their painted face have always terrified me. As a child, I used to burst into tears just seeing them on TV. The rumor mill is spreading. And as you can see, our fear has spread as well. And we also got our oleum from that QuickTime event too. There's 2 hearts. How much do we need? We need 2 more. So let's go ahead and extract again. And while we're here, bleach and dirty clothes. I enter the Hessel factory workers' changing room. It's an enormous unventilated room that smells of bleach and dirty clothes. All of the lockers have padlocks on them, but I see one that's covered with political and activist stickers with a lock that's especially worn and rusty. Yeah, I'm going to force it open. What do we get? I tear off the padlock and open the locker. Inside, there's a box full of crudely printed leaflets. Let's put an end to labor abuses. Strike at Hessel Biofarm. I put one in my pocket as I wipe the ink off my fingertips and leave the changing room. So we discovered information that there's a strike threat. If we can stoke the union's resentments, they'll call a strike at Hessel's British subsidiary. Yeah. For the proletariat. Where did he place his movement? He placed it right here, and it costs 2 hearts. So that is another thing, too, with expelling the movements. Sometimes they have a cost amount. As you can see here, this information would kill 2 hearts of a card. This card costs 2 hearts. Sometimes they cost 3, sometimes they cost 1. So you have to use your information wisely. Luckily for us, we need to go into this city. So let's go ahead and go in here. And we'll need 3 capital, which is 3 political essence in order to use this. So we'll have to plant some essence somewhere at some point. So let's go ahead and freeze this for the time being. That freezes that movement for 60 turns, 60 days. And the fear is spreading into England now, too. There we go. Okay, we have enough for Sharpie the clown. Let's start exploring. Stabby the clown. All right. Now that we're here, like I said, we need 3 political to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and explore. We'll plant a political essence in there and extract it in a few seconds. A new event in Scotland. All right. Election campaign. The population chooses a new president. The polls are very close. So in this one, for this quick time event, this isn't one that's just going to happen. We have to go and infiltrate it. So we'll have to send an agent to go deal with this in order to get the bonuses or the negative effects from it, or to negate it altogether. I can talk to Mr. Nest. Tower of London. Seeing me from across the courtyard, 7 huge ravens with clipped wings squawk an alarm. Then, cloaked in the shadows, Mr. Nest appears to me. The hell is Mr. Nest? All right, let's work on politics. Let's go ahead and start extracting. Like my 7 ravens, I can't fly beyond the Tower of London. The future of the kingdom and the crown depend on it. Tell us a sinister tale about the world outside, and my creatures and I will be very grateful to you. Okay. Tell them the story about a terrible death. I receive 400 oleum, and it costs hearts to do it. Tell them the story of a terrifying nightmare. I get a lucky card, or I get eyeballs for it. We'll get the eyeballs. We can wait on it for now, though, because we can level up Sharpie the Clown. Come, boys and girls. Excitement, fun, and lots of laughs. Let's go Edge because of Sharpie. Oh, Jesus. Whenever a circus comes to town, disappearances skyrocket. The relationship is clear. Okay, this is obviously like a YouTube video. Red-nosed killers. Someone named Charlie Delta. That's what I say. If they put that much on make, okay. Oh my god, this is a little too real. Now the fear is spreading in Ireland. Oh, at St. Mary's Cathedral. We're going to need more heart. But before we do that, let's go and work on this election campaign. This should fill up. 65, nice. So we've established enough fear inside of Ireland to spread our message that all natural remedies are dangerous. Oh, I don't know if I can show that. I know talent when I see it, Jen. Years of hard work. Health food stores and naturopathy centers go bust, boosting pharmacy sales by 75%. That's right. We don't care about health food stores. We only care about pharmacy. Big pharma, as they say. All right, well, our card wore off. Now you can see it's going to take 74 days for this card to go into effect. We're going to another Fadro quick time. The CEO, Andrew Logham, sends you a message. I'm about to retire, and I'm going to propose you as my successor. The board will make its decision in a few days. Ooh, 70 days. All right, we got more capital. Can we play this yet? Nope, we still need one more, so let's extract more politics again. And perfect timing. The election campaign. Support the Conservative Party. Give your support to the Progressive Party. Well, considering we are big pharma, I mean, I think you can figure out who we're going to support. And from some of those quick time events give us resources. So now we have a lot of root, a lot of science, a lot of pop. We probably won't need these, but we'll see. And since we finished that, our agent is back down here. So we don't have enough fear to spread. We're going to need eyeballs. Do we have any eyeballs? So another quick thing you can do is if you have enough, if you want to figure out where your essences are, just hover your agent over the bottom, or you can hover, obviously, your mouse over there. And we have some vision up here. So let's go extract some vision. Oh, and he placed another one. Okay. So we're going to have to get more information here. All right, now we have enough politic. Let's go ahead and use this for the strike threat to kill the expense-paid crews for doctors. Our strike is successful. And as you get rid of all of his cards, we defeat our rival. But we haven't gotten there yet. Oh, hey, we can level up again because we have more vision. So let's go ahead and level up Eliphas from 244 to 355. And we learned more about him. And the more information that we get, if we get this card filled all the way out, this will turn into a free legend that we can use on the map anywhere. Speaking of legends, we probably should place some legends in here, huh? So what is the highest? The power? Okay, let's use the Terror of Conspiracy. And then the Terror of the Irrational. So we're going to need Vision as well as Gaia in order to level us up. So let's go. Oh, I forgot. I need to go and find some more information. You spoiled brat. You're jeopardizing our expansion plans in the British Isles. No more special treatment because your last name. From now on, Hessel is at war. You're too late, and that's why you'll be defeated. It was always a word. Sheesh. Got some blood for that, but holy. We need heart, Gaia, and vision. Okay, so... Oh, another cycle is passed, and now you can see we are only gaining 100 because our flame now requires 100 oleum in order to keep it going. So let's grab some heart, which we can find in here, but it's being blocked. So let's work on some Gaia then, which is here. 15 turns. The desk of the accounting director is as orderly and spotless as the museum exhibits. Stacks of documents, freshly sharpened pencils. A bouquet of freshly sharpened pencils. More Tom Hanks? His laptop is turned on, but it's locked by... Let's try to unlock the computer. Oh, easy clap. Hey, we found some more information. Password, What if I try the name of the boy who drew these pictures? I browse through dozens of balance sheets and something doesn't add up. It doesn't take a genius to see that the accounting director has been cooking the books of the British subsidiary for over a decade. We've discovered some fraud, in which it only costs oleum to do that. So luckily we don't have to get any extra resources. We can just use 250 oleum to dispel this movement. Exclusive distribution contract. Only our pharmacy, not yours. No one else. I don't know what help you're getting, Jen, but you're stronger than us. So I've decided to shut down Hessel in the British Isles. That's right. Only our pharma company, not yours. And we defeated our rival. Bye-bye. Au revoir. Wait, no. I was going to do another British accent, but I'm not going to. All right, let's go ahead and level up Manchester. Fake prosthesis. They import them on the sly to get a better price. Contraband? Ooh, get an extra bonus as well. Level this up. And doctors are in on it naturally, of course, right? The conspiracy. I think I'm going to lose my leg. They told me it was top quality, but after the implant, I developed a terrible infection. Oh, we have these legends. It's also Phantoms of the Tunnel, Line 4 Night Train, Old Tunnel of the Animus. Well, let's look at the past. That's probably part of the Phantoms of the Tunnel, right? It is indeed. Years ago, tragedy derailed on these tracks. There were bright flashes in the middle of the tunnel, and now I know that what happened there. I'm never taking that train again. It's a recreation. I love that it says recreation, too. How are we looking on fear? 58 out of 75. All right, our next bonus. Get 2 units of each essence implanted in the region, plus 10 to a legend's value. Immediately ends an agent's work cycle. Let's go cornucopia. Let's go to resources. And let's get resources from here. All right, now we can level up Sharpie the Clown, finally. Like some more candy? Come to my trailer. Let's go sweet, because he said candy. Oh, yeah. And now we finished the Legend of Sharpie the Clown. The children are dying to meet him. The Grand Intercontinental Circus Tour canceled due to the accusations and calls for a boycott on social media. Its director has filed suit against several outlets and influencers. Well, there's some more fear for you. Oh, yeah, we should probably tell Mr. Nest a terrifying nightmare story so we can get a lucky card. Thank you for that delicious story, says a delighted Mr. Nest, as his ravens caw and flap their clipped wings. Here's your reward. We got a lucky card, which is the spy. But that doesn't matter because we have finished transmitting our message. We have enough fear inside England. Generic drugs should be outlawed. That is true. Only our pharmacy. A chip off the old. You live up to your surname. I'm leaving the company in good hands. That's correct. And look at that. Objective achieved. After making the company the leader in its sector of the British Isles, Jen Hammond is named the new CEO of Fadra Farm. We've successfully transmitted our messages of fear. In Scotland, pharmacies sold out of Fadra Farm products. The authorities of England and Wales ordered the prohibition of generic drugs, and the popularity of natural medicine plummeted among the inhabitants of Ireland. We didn't 100% it. You can 100% it if you made fear 100% in every single area, but we got enough to fully get our message across. And because we had extra oleum, we gain and extra resources, we gain a flame delay, so that gives us 60 extra days before the flame starts consuming oleum. I'm impressed, Jen. Your career is turning out to be meteoric. You're at the helm of one of the most influential pharmaceutical companies in the world, and you accomplished it all in the blink of an eye. My wish is still a long way from coming true. Let's just keep going. Of course, but first I need more details to continue writing your story. Ask me anything. That was part of the deal. Let's see. Oh, look. Sad and lonely little Jen. What did your parents do? They were researchers, virologists, the most brilliant and celebrated in their field. I sense that you admired them a great deal, even though they were always so busy. They never had eyes for quiet Jen. Oh, I never held that against them, not once. I am what I am thanks to them. Science requires a cool head and sacrifice. Speaking of sacrifices, that pet you had never became the apple of your eye, did it? Oh my god, the eyeballs. Pets were for other children. For me, those animals were experimental. Empathy just gets in your way. Did you also learn that from your parents? That's enough. I have nothing further to say on this topic. No problem, I already see all I need to continue. Let's see, coldness and cruelty. Now that's a good start. Tell me, Jen, as an expert on the subject, which ingredient would work best in the machine? Now that we've finished the first part of the comic, we can choose coldness. The flame will take an extra cycle to grow in size, or cruelty, nor quarter. Fear spreads faster on the map. I'm not too worried about the flame. I want fear to spread as fast as possible. Now let's go on with the story. To consolidate her power in a new position, the young and ambitious Jen needed a dramatic turn of events. But how could she get all of Europe hooked on Fadra's products? Mission 2. Objective. Message to be transmitted. Make Nolopain and Relaxum the market leaders and gut the laws regulating dangerous pharmaceuticals. Transmit these 3 messages. Nolopain is the only effective remedy for pain. Only Relaxum is capable of overcoming anxiety. The sale of opiates should be unrestricted and unregulated. So this requires just fear. These 2 require terror of pain and the terror of decrepitude. The campaign will be a smashing success, Miss Hammond. Marketing diseases. But if you wanted to find out the rest of Miss Hammond's story, in the description below there is a link to the fabulous Fear Machine, which is now available on Steam for $15.29 at this time. Normal price $17.99. This is I've already played it all the way through. Like I said, this is a fantastic game. I love just silly little narrative-driven games, and this one does not fail to impress. Once again, I want to thank the developer Victoriorama Studios as well as AMC Games for allowing me to showcase this to you guys. This game is, like I said, it's a lot of fun. I'm a little impressed at how much I enjoyed this game. There are a lot of really silly, not so subtle implications to some real world stuff that is happening, as well as how the amplification of fear through social media and things along those lines can persuade our perspective on things. So once again, thank you again for allowing, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!